So I kind of fast forwarded because I need to get this thing out of here. I got some stuff coming up I got to get done, and so we edited this down. Yeah, that's it. To a catch up, and then we'll go from there. All right, so we got all the tie down points in the bed. They were just Harbor Freight deals, 2 for $2.99 or $1.99. And then normally they got screwed down, but where the holes were, I just plug welded right through them down to the bottom. And this guy has its 2 stops for the gate. So when the gate comes up now, it's right against those. There we go. The ends of the gates are all plugged. Bing, bing. More holes for little kids to stick their fingers in. And I think now I'm going to go to the point where let's get some paint on. Oh, we had a bunch of self tappers down the rest of the walls and then up across the top too. So I'm going to go take some carb cleaner and whatnot and get rid of any of the Sharpie markers that are on it, and I'm going to go around on a flappy disc and knock down any kind of ugly looking somethings that are sticking out of it. I'm trying to make them a little bit more presentable. I screwed up. I tacked the screws before I painted it. I should have undid that. Got it out of the way. Not that it's that big of a deal. So that's it. Let's get all these guys off of there, because they'll show through, and start masking it off. Put some color on it. Always alert. Here's the plan. It's a loose plan, but it's a plan. The plan is to shoot everything that was raw steel in the safety blue, which is pretty much what the color of the body is. And when you kind of wet sand this a little bit, this gets brighter. That's what I'm spraying right there, and that's what it was. So it'll get fairly close to each other, but I'm going to weather the top. Actually, I'm going to weather the whole thing, and hopefully it kind of blends. So the stuff that is real rusty, original stuff, and the stuff that I'm going to try, I'll have rust on it, but make it look like it was the same time period as when the truck was made. Make sense? So the idea is to shoot the whole thing in blue, where the metal is, and then kind of assess it from there. We can look at it and say where we want to start wearing some of the paint off, where the hands normally would be touching, and weather would be hitting it. We'll try to wear some of that off, and then we're going to come back and put some rusting spray on it and get some of that to start to kick for us. But right now I'm going to get paint on it. I'm going to put my respirator on and some gear, so I'm not going to be talking to you. But I may grab the camera and just kind of walk around for a second while we're shooting it. Like a plan? Alright, that's the plan.
I'll tag it.
Just pull some of that stuff off of there. So I'm sticking with the jail bars themselves. Either blue, white, or black. I think each one has its own benefit, you know? Its own look. And I think for the top here, I'm going to run a piece of trim on both sides. I might even run right across the top of it, try to draw a straight line across that. That should be just fine. I'll finish unwrapping that. Hey guys, I think I'm going to wind this one down. I got all the tape off of it. Let it sit overnight. We'll let this dry up and then we can have at it again tomorrow with putting all the wear marks in it and the patina. Try to blend it into the rest of it, and then we're going to spray the stuff for the rust. Make it rust. The only problem with the rust is that you make, you know, that's really old rust. When you spray stuff on it, it gets more orangey at first. It takes a long time to get that dark color to it. So what my plan is to get it to that point, and this is going to get kicked out of here for a while, and we get some other cool stuff to work on and kind of mix it up a little bit. This one it's been going on for a long time, and I need a break from it too, so that'll be good. That's where I want to get it to. We'll let the paint kind of, the rust get darker, and then we'll come back and we'll wet sand the whole thing, wax the whole thing, and see how well we can kind of blend the two together. Other than that, it's fairly close to going. I still have to chase some more wiring and some lighting and stuff like that, but I am out of time for commitments I have made to do other stuff. You know what I mean? So, looking good. Alright guys, until then. Hey guys, next day, and the paint is dry to the touch. Looks like it made out pretty good. So I think I'm gonna go around now and we can start to age different areas of it. I think we're probably gonna start with maybe a really fine wet sandpaper, maybe I don't know, like an 800 grit or so. And anyway, we'll try maybe we'll try it on the inside a little bit, see how we like it there. Maybe even on the gate or the floor, and get our technique down, and then we'll move on to the rest of it. Got a piece of 320. Maybe we'll just give that a shot dry. I would think basically we kind of want like the center of it worn down more, where hands and stuff would have been grabbing it. Let's just see what we get. Plus all those little barbs are what I want to get exposed, and then we get those to rust up. I like that. Might be able to get a little bit more aggressive. I'll get some something in the twos. Continue doing that. Actually, I'm kind of liking the 320. Got just a better piece of it. Now I'm just trying to give a little in between each one. Something like that. I danced between 80 grit and then the 320. I ran 80 over the rebar just to kind of give it, more of a worn look. I want it to make it look like where hands and stuff would be rubbing, would be more worn away, and then again whatever weather would kind of do. So I cut through on all the edges here and there, and I think they're gonna get brighter now with the brown color once we go and spray it, and just kind of knock the shininess of the whole thing off too. They look pretty good. Shows a little bit more of an age. So now I think we're gonna get the spray ready. We'll get some spray on it and see if we can start turning that into a rusty color. And again, we can, again, we're gonna go, if we have to, back and forth. I need to sand more off, I will. If I need to blow some blue paint back on or change the color, I still can. Nothing stops me from doing that right now. As long as I don't go to the point where it gets waxed, we can kind of keep, screwing around with it till we get the desired look. And what we're going to go for is hydrogen peroxide. I did a mix on Krusty. It was 3 different ones. I want to say it was, I believe it was salt, hydrogen peroxide, and I forget what the last one was. It might have been vinegar. But we are going to, and then later on I found if I just wiped the hydrogen peroxide on it, it kind of did a good job on its own. So I'm going to do that, and I'm probably going to put a little bit of dish soap in it, just so it has like a little bit of a foamy action. Instead of just beating up in one spot, you kind of want to let it get all over it. We'll go for half a jug. See how that does for us. So I sprayed up to one side with just a straight hydrogen peroxide, and now I went for the mix. It's white vinegar, table salt, and hydrogen peroxide are the 3, and a little bit of again dish soap I put in there just to try to give it some kind of cleansy type of action. So it's been about, I don't know, 10 minutes over here since this was sprayed. I really don't see much happening on it yet. So I figure we'll go over to the other side. We'll kind of start getting that one ready to rock and roll. And we'll start seeing if we can get a different result over here. The last time I seemed like I was doing it, it seemed like just the straight hydrogen peroxide what was gave you the most bang. Not like the other ingredients are expensive though, right? I don't know if you can see how the soap now makes it so it's an even coating on it instead of little raindrops. finer mist. Smells good. Smells like an Italian sub. Anyway, we'll let that go do its thing. Let's see if we get any improvement. So here's that first side. And you can kind of see how it just kind of, it's beating up in little bubbles. It's not really a mist all over it. And there's a very slight change. Like you can kind of see just a little bit of rust. I'll kick you over to the other side, which was done later with the mix of the three. And this is only 5 minutes later. You're starting to see it to do what it needs to do, and as you can kind of see it laying evenly across it too. That's kind of the look we're trying to get out of it. It's starting to kick, starting to make a little rust stains running down from the bolts. So I'm going to go take a paper towel to the other side, wipe off what's on there, and I'm going to spray it with the tri-mix there instead of just the single. I think that's our option to go with. So I went around and wiped down the right side and resprayed that, and went over the whole thing one more time, wetted it again. Getting decent. Again, I'm in no hurry. I'm probably going to let it sit a month or so before I do anything with the rest of it, but I think it should age it up fairly decent. The inside of the bed's getting kind of funky too. Look at those patterns, just from the overspray spraying the bars. And I just hit the back of the tailgate now. I have a feeling, I was kind of worried, not worried, I was going to leave the bottom till later. I think just from moving stuff in and out and working on it, it's going to get pretty beat up on its own. And again, it's probably going to also have a mat down there to keep stuff from sliding around. So, just trying to look the part. This was a hole that I welded up. You can kind of see, you know, it was bright steel right before I started. You could always see the orangey color of rust, and then you can see it's actually getting a little darker in those areas. So, again, this now can sit out in the weather. It can get rained on, snowed on, and let it get the cage part of it just a little bit more beat up, and then clean the whole thing up one last time. Probably wet sanding the whole thing down very lightly just to knock the scum off of it, and then we'll seal it. And I think it actually will blend pretty good because that stuff will get a little lighter yet, and I think the colors will start to blend better between the two of them. You know, right now it's somewhat noticeable, but as that top's getting more beat up, it's starting to go away. I just came out and sprayed it again. It's probably 15 hours since the last time it got sprayed. And it didn't get as dark as I thought it would. I thought where some of those bare edges really would have darkened up more than what they did. But we have time on our side, and we're going to let Mother Nature go have at it and put this thing outside and let it just see the weather. It's getting some, but not quite where I wanted to get it. You know, I want to get some of the darker browns in that area to give it a little bit more look of time that has gone by. But I am not disappointed with it neither. Again, it just takes some time, and that's what I have on my side. So this is going to get kicked out of here. I got a bunch of VWs coming in. I think I got 4 or 5 lined up that I need to take care of, past commitments. We'll get them done, and by that time probably spring will be getting here. And I still want to get the double cab and get work, at least get paint on it. I want to get it to the point where it's painted and that can sit and let the paint get hardened up on it. That's the plan. We'll see where we get with that though. Again, thank you guys for coming around and hanging out in the garage and just playing with some rusty old junk. Till the next one. Later, guys. A little bit of that. Out there.
rust up, my little fine friend. We'll see you in a month or two.